Hello everyone and welcome back to another video where, yes, I'm riding the bike in because I thought that's much more interesting than sitting in front of a camera. Now, got a few things I want to talk about, some general updates about the bike and also some stuff about what I plan to do with it in the future. So let's just start off with some kind of frequently asked questions. The number one at the moment is what's going on with the beeping BMS that I mentioned last video. Now I haven't quite got to the bottom of it, but I think I've got a pretty good idea. Basically, the plate design that I've made for the where the lugs connect to the batteries really only hold the lugs over one cell. Students around. That's what happens when you live next to a university. Anyway, so yeah, it's only holding over one cell, so I think it's drawing most of the power from only one of the two parallel cells, which obviously isn't good because it should spread the load evenly. I mean, it's a bit weird because in theory one of these cells each should easily be able to support the power I'm using at the moment, but yeah, I think that's the problem. So I've got to redesign some plates and blocks that basically spread the load more evenly. So that's what's going on with that. Secondly, is about the suspension and the controller. Yes, I know the suspension is going to hit the controller at the current rate if I go over some big bumps or stop quickly. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm going to be upgrading, I think it's to like USD 8. Oh, I'll put it on the screen. There's some pretty damn good shocks, double crown or triple crown, something like that. But they've also got mounts for 2 brake calipers, which would be pretty cool. That's another dilemma I'm having about what brakes to get, because ideally I'd have dual caliper 4-piston with nice long levers and an oil gauge, because that's what you need for the MSVA. Now Tektro, they make a 4-piston brake, they make one with long calipers, and they make one that's got 2 calipers, but they don't make one that's got all of them. So yeah, I'm a bit stuck as to which brake to get at the moment, so I need to have a think. So if you've got any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. That thing is bloody noisy. Another question I've got asked is what's the top speed, and the answer is I don't know. I've been trying to base off my old bike, but basically it's pretty hard because it's different batteries, different controller, different weight. I'm guessing 45 to 50 probably at 8 kilowatts. That's a complete guess. It could be a bit more. I doubt it'll be less, but I mean, on something like this, that is a lot of speed. I've got to muster up the courage to actually go that fast on that top speed run, which will be pretty hairy. This one. Another question is cost. What does this thing cost? Might as well talk about it. I'll probably do a big review at the end about kind of breaking down all the parts and all that. But so far I've spent £1,700 on this bike, which is already getting quite expensive. I reckon I'll probably have to spend a total of about 2,700, and that's not including all the registration fees. So yeah, it's expensive making an e-bike, there's no point denying that. How do I get this money? Well, I don't just go to my parents and ask them for like, Dad, can I have 200 quid? Like, I don't come from that kind of family. I've done part-time work. I know someone who runs an IT firm, so I do a bit of work for them. I do phone repairs. I sell old bits of electrical equipment on eBay. I kind of do some odd jobs, and so yeah. That's why it takes a long time to save up, because kind of money comes in dribs and drabs to me. I don't have a full-time or even part-time job at the moment, so yeah, that is how I'm funding it at the moment. So yeah. Oh, there we go. Lovely. So yeah, most expensive part is hands down the battery. That's going to be the same for pretty much any build, unless you're getting something like a really expensive Kelly controller. They can be a fair bit, but yeah. What else? Oh yeah, also going to be putting a tray underneath the controller to kind of waterproof it a bit and just protect it in general. So that'll come at a later stage. I think I've got access to a vacuum former, which I'll hopefully be able to use for that, make it nice and proper, put some aluminium skid plates on it probably, and make it look all nice. Yeah, just a bit of splash proofing basically. Ideally I'd like to get a Domino throttle because they look really nice, but 90 quid on a throttle, that's it's a tough one. So I'll probably get something a bit cheaper to start out with and then work my way up. Another question that came up I think a couple of times is about the weight of the bike. It's probably going to be around about the 55 kilo mark, because I think the motor's about 12, the battery's about 14, frame's pretty heavy, I think it's about 16 plus the forks and the wheels and all that. I'm 55, I'm pretty light, but even so 110 kilos is not a lot for the amount of power that I'm going to be putting on this bike. So that's why these kind of bikes go so damn quickly, is because the power to weight ratio is just incredibly high. When I was designing the batteries, I was also thinking about adding in a trip switch, just as another layer of protection basically, in case for whatever reason the controller failed and the BMS failed. The last method of kind of cutout protection basically. I haven't put it in yet because I don't think I need it yet, but it's quite hard actually finding something that can kind of take 200 amps and 60 volts. I think I found one, but I might get it at a later date. And also, if you want any of the parts that I've bought, I'm updating the lists in the description, so basically go to my latest video, check the description and there'll be all the links there, rather than asking every time in the comments, where do you get your frame from, where do you get your batteries from, where do you get this from. Yeah, just check the description, I'll keep the list updated there. Yeah, this brake definitely needs upgrading. Well, the other day or the week, whenever it was, I was testing, I was going up the big hill, or not big hill, but the hill I showed on my video that it cut out on, and I was coming down, and yeah, caliper literally started smoking. I think it was the pads actually, but yeah, these are just not meant for that kind of stopping, but it's pretty cool anyway. Nothing serious, it just looked and smelled pretty cool. I've seen a dashboard, I think it's made by QS Motor, it's called like the QSCT22 I think, and it just looks like a really nice kind of all-in-one electric bike or electric vehicle unit, because I've been looking around for quite some time for a dashboard, because I was going to make my own out of like an Arduino and an LCD, which would be great because you get to customise exactly what you have on it, but at the same time it's quite a faff to kind of, you've got to make the 3D printed case, program the Arduino, make it yourself, and this is just a really nice kind of all-in-one unit really, which just does everything you want. So I'll try and put a picture up on the screen, but yeah, at some point I hope to get that, and then also make my own little 4-inch TFT display which will go over the BMS, and that'll just kind of be like a little driver's display and display kind of information about the temperature, state of charge, any errors, stuff like that, which will be pretty cool. Actually, let's just go down here, check my list of things that I'm meant to say. Another thing at some point I'd like to do is add a temperature sensor to this motor, because especially as I start putting higher levels of power through it, I know it's going to heat up. You know, it's designed for 3 kilowatts, but they can handle a lot more peak, so that's why I'm doing it and not switching out to like a QS motor that's designed for 8 kilowatts, because this will handle it fine, I'm sure. Might have to get some hub sinks. The reason I'm kind of held off doing it is because I don't want to damage anything. Cheers, mate. Yeah, by taking it apart, because you've got to reseal it up and use like some special heat-proof silicone or silicone glue even. So yeah, I just want to kind of make sure it all works before I go ahead and rip it apart. Same with the Sabaton actually. It'd be nice just to have a look inside that, because mine didn't come with the electronic brake option where you can get like a regen throttle, which is something I'd like actually, rather than just having kind of the regen on or off. Now I have a theory that they use the same boards in all models of controller, and then only kind of enable certain features in software and just don't solder on the connectors, but I'm not sure because I haven't checked. It'd be kind of nice if that was true, but don't know. I'm also having a bit of a dilemma about whether to keep the chain and pedals on or not, or whether just to attach the pedals straight to the bottom bracket and have them kind of like foot peg things. Because it's pretty annoying having like the pedals move around like on a bike, because you got to kind of find them every time you stop, because you've got a helmet on, you've got a chin bar and all that, you can't really see. What I'm planning to do is get some server power supplies, because they basically kick out a heck ton of power, and if you get some second-hand ones, they can be like ridiculously cheap. You can get like a 1000 watt power supply for 20 quid or something. Now they only output 12 volts, so I get like a series of boost converters to spread the load. And then probably have some sort of like little Arduino control so it can kind of start and stop the charging itself and monitor the temperatures, and then build it into a unit and put it on the garage wall so I can charge up in there. That would be pretty nice. And also, thanks for the support. I've kind of been inundated with comments, you know, every time I upload. The morning after, it's just kind of like 5-10 comments with people saying, oh, I love it, I'm doing a similar thing, or how do you do this, or what's this for, and it's brilliant, I love it. Really great getting that kind of audience interaction, so thanks everyone. We're now at 600 and something subscribers, so yeah, thanks for the support. Keep liking, sharing, subscribing. It makes you feel great, it really does. Just like taking this bike out, if you're ever having like a bad day or whatever, just going for a ride can make all the difference. Just the fun of it and the freedom and knowing that you made it is brilliant. It really is. So yeah, thanks everyone who's making this possible and allowing me to keep going. But pretty much, it sounds a bit soppy, but hey, that's the truth. And I know a lot of you want to see this when it's done, so hang around. Also starting to actually help a few people to kind of make their own bikes, which is quite humbling actually, that they've asked me to do that. So yeah, you know who you are. Yeah, you're welcome basically. And if I didn't mention, it is cold today. I don't know what it is, but it feels cold and it's windy. Luckily it's not raining. Oh, that's the other thing I meant to mention about the charger. Got a bit of a problem because obviously you saw me charging up with my power supply just fine in the test video, or the BMS video, whenever that was. But then something's happened with my power supply. I thought it was a diode that's blown, but it's just not working, because I was trying to connect it up, my battery, and it just like it just sparked and went crazy when I tried to connect it. So I think there's some sort of short in my power supply, because it's reading like 0 volts, and yeah, I don't know, it's quite a nice expensive one as well, so it's a bit of a shame. But yeah, I mean, although as big as this battery pack is, and I'm only doing like a few miles at a time when I'm testing, it's not going to last forever, so yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I hope, if you're following the project, that you've enjoyed a bit of waffle about this bike. Yeah, hopefully whilst I'm saving up for parts, I can do some more kind of riding vlog style videos. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time.